What is going on YouTube? It's Sankey and we're back with another one. Alright guys, so as always we've got our weekend penny stock drop, and you guys know we're going to take full advantage of some of the existing penny stocks in our portfolio, and I got some brand new ones for the channel to share with you. So guys, do make sure you stick with me all the way through this one. Now guys, before I get to it, I'm going to need you to hit that like button for me, and also if you're new, hit that subscribe button, join the journey as thousands of us over here make those daily steps to hitting wealth in the stock market. Now before we kick things off, you guys know that penny stock investing is risky and can be volatile, just so you guys understand that. Now if you do, we're ready to rock. Let's jump into the first one. First up is DSG Global. This is one of our channel favorite EV penny stock plays. If you don't know DSG, they have two subsidiaries. First subsidiary, Imperial Motors. They import electric vehicles. Now over here, we like Imperial Motors because 1, they're affordable. 2, it lowers DSG's R&D costs. And 3, it gives the business access to a wide range of electric vehicles, from buses to cars to vans. Now in terms of where the business stands, we know that they're accepting deliveries from their overseas manufacturing partners. Not only that, we're awaiting the announcement of the opening of their experience center and also news on the WMI license. Now news came out yesterday and DSG has delivered on that WMI license, guys. This is good for 2 reasons. The first is that now DSG can receive part built vehicles and finish the assembly in-house. The second is it's going to allow them to bid on government contracts to convert their fleet over to electric vehicles, and we know that there's well over 600,000 of these. Now this has 2 positive impacts on our play. The first is cost reductions, and the second is the potential to earn more revenue. Now guys, the price action on the day after the announcement of this news was also good, up almost 20%, and that was probably one of the strongest performers on the day in your portfolio, as it was a very turbulent day in the stock market. So in terms of what we can expect next from our play, guys, we're looking out for some numbers, delivery numbers, something to give us an indication that they are on track to hit that 60 million in revenue by the end of the year. Because you guys know one of the key attractions with this play is 60 million in revenue on 70 million in market cap makes this a cheap stock with the potential to go much higher. And guys, let's talk strike prices on our DSG play. It's currently staying the same at $1. If you can catch DSG under $1, do consider loading up on this play, because if they are on track to hit those financials, you are going to see this share price fly. Next up is Ag Eagle, that's UAVs. This is our drone play, and you guys know that the drone sector is in the early stages of growth and they're set for good things, because we know that there's many use cases for those drones. One is deliveries, another is agriculture, another is healthcare, and there's a whole load more. So I've had a few of the patrons ask me about UAVs and similar plays that show the same share price movement, massive run-ups in that stock price, and then they start to come back down, and they're wondering when to enter that play. Guys, I always look for at least a 30% correction in that stock price after such a massive run-up, if the reason why that stock has run up is not based on financials. So here we have it, UAVs down 35% from their 52-week high. And you guys know my favorite WB quote, that's be greedy when others are fearful. So it's time for us to take a closer look at them. So it was only 3 days ago that UAVs went ahead and announced the acquisition of a company called MicroSense. Now this company manufactures the cameras and the sensors for drones. Guys, I think this is a good acquisition, and I think this is good business moves from UAVs, and it sets the tone for what we should expect going forward. Now MicroSense, they work with some good players in the industry such as Dragonfly and SenseFly. Now, given this week's market volatility, the announcement of this acquisition slipped under the radar. But this is a good sign. This is a $23 million company, so they're quite sizable. Now guys, my expectation going forward is that UAVs continues to acquire businesses in the drone space. And guys, we know that right now, the drone space is going through a lot of consolidation. That's why you see plays like Alpine 4 making several drone acquisitions at the back end of last year, and they're not finished with their acquisitions. Now you guys already know I like those plays that go out there and make those acquisitions, because one of the fastest ways they can grow their product offering, grow their client base, and grow that market share. And as they do so, that's going to increase that stock price. Guys, let's talk strike price on our UAVs play. If you can catch UAVs under $9, do consider loading up on this one. We've been waiting for the dip in that stock price. It's finally come, and it's time for us to pounce and make the most of this opportunity. You have to remember that the drone space is very hot right now. There's a lot of investor excitement around it. So as UAVs continually to send out PRs that they're acquiring businesses, increasing their partnerships, you're going to see that stock price go up. Next up is VG acquisition. Now this is a SPAC play that gives us the opportunity to get in early before they merge with any company. Now you guys have been at the other side of the fence. You guys have jumped in on the SPAC plays after the merger was announced, and that share price has gone up 100% already. How many times have you jumped into a SPAC play and it's $15, $20 or more? Now you guys know I always say when you jump into these penny stock plays, take a very close look at the management team, because often the success of the business depends on who's driving that business forward. And here we have it in this play, VGAC acquisition launched by none other than Sir Richard Branson. And the management team behind the SPAC themselves is also including the CEO and the CIO of Virgin Group. Now this SPAC was launched in October last year, so as every month goes by we get closer and closer to that merger announcement, and you guys know what's going to happen to that stock price when that merger is announced. Now, there's a couple of things about this play that I like that I want to put on your radar. The first is that even though there's no confirmation of who they're merging with, there are rumours that they will merge with Virgin Orbit. Now this is just complete rumours, there's no facts or evidence to back this up, but guys, I like the prospect of them merging with a space play, because we know that a lot of space plays are doing well right now. Even a space play I put you guys on a couple of weeks back called Maxion, and that share price has been flying over the last couple of weeks. Guys, the second thing I like is this was an oversubscribed SPAC. They were supposed to raise 400 million because it was oversubscribed. They raised 480 million. So when that merger announcement does come along, I do think you're going to get a lot of investor interest to push that share price up. Now guys, I also like the size of this SPAC. They're larger than the average SPAC, which is around $300 million. So again, it gives them a lot more opportunity to go and merge with a bigger company. And guys, the last thing I like is that this stock price has been coming down over the last couple of days, which gives us a better entry point to jump in. And I'm going to give you guys a bonus one. I like that your downside is somewhat limited in this play, because the investors are likely to keep that stock above the $10 mark. Now guys, let's talk strike price on our VG acquisition play. If you can catch them under $13, consider grabbing yourself some stock and joining us on this one. Next up, that's Lake Resources. Now this is a lithium extraction company with a twist. They do things a bit differently. When they do their extraction, they use their technologies to ensure that this is done cleanly for that ESG purposes, but also to provide quality lithium. Now guys, this is a play that's going to support the growth that we're seeing in EV, because we know that lithium is a key component of the batteries. Now this play reminds me of American Battery, and you guys know what we've done on this channel with American Battery, returns 200-300% plus. Now I do think Lake Resources has the potential to show similar share price movement to American Battery sometime soon. Now this is because Lake Resources have plans to kick off their construction of their lithium extraction plant in 2022, and because they're going to extract in a clean method and also provide quality lithium, I do think they're going to win a lot of business from some large companies, so it gives them the opportunity for multi-millions in revenues. Now I do think along the way to completion of that lithium plant, we're going to get news on certain things such as their studies and how they're going, and if they're positive, I do think that's going to push that share price up as investors get excited about this play. So guys, I do think this is one I want to put on your radar. Now I've set my strike price on Lake Resources at under 20 cents. Catch them under 20 cents, do consider loading up. So this is a play that's going to see a lot of sharp upwards and downwards movements in that stock price right through the year. Alright guys, you've been rocking with the channel, you know what time it is. So I got this question from one of my patrons, and he says recommendations around investing to free funds ratios to ensure you have enough free funds available for potential buying the dip opportunities. Now this is a great question. It actually reminded me when I answered a question on having an emergency fund and how important that is. Now I can kind of see this as having an emergency fund to ensure that you can catch those dips, and on weeks like we've had just now where it's unusually red in the stock market. Because as I've always said to you guys, the best day to invest into stocks is on the red days, because that is how you're going to maximize your returns. Therefore, you guys must ensure that you have some capital available so you guys can access the capital and invest in those stocks. Now, if you guys watched my video from yesterday, I mentioned a couple of stocks that have been affected from this week's volatility, and therefore they're looking like very good buying opportunities. Remember, we have Golden Nugget. We also have plays like TLSS, which have come down significantly. And this is why you want that accessible money to invest in these plays, because when they rise, your returns are going to be looking very good. So what I want to ensure is that you guys have at least 10% of your portfolio value somewhere where you can access that money and then catch these dips and catch those unusual red days in the stock market. So if your portfolio value is $1,000, you should have somewhere $100 that you can call upon. If your portfolio is $10,000, then somewhere you should have $1,000. Again, you can call upon that, catch those dips. Guys, this is super important, because imagine right now you have no accessible capital to catch those dips in the stock market. You're missing out on a lot of returns when these plays start to rebound. Now I've gone for 10% and not higher because we want to strike a balance here. You ultimately want the majority of your money working for you at all times, but having a portion of capital available is a great idea. Alright guys, as always, thanks for tuning in. Do hit that like button for me, really helps the channel out. And also if you're new, hit that subscribe button, join the family. I've got a lot more content coming for you guys as we close out the weekend and head into a fresh brand new week in the stock market. So as I always say, check into the channel every single day. Stock market's rapidly moving. You never want to miss a beat. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.